rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
Hey everyone, it's Fedafencer here to explain a little bit about Trove's new gem system. So I'm going to be talking about what are gems, why do I care about them, how do I get gems, how do I socket them, how to level them, where do I get the dust to do all that, what are empowered gems and why do I care, and what's my best strategy. So initially, gems are a source of stats and power rank. If you mouse over your character sheet, you'll see that you get power rank from class level, from equipment, from mastery, from dragons, and from gems, and the gems component can be pretty significant. So they drop into your inventory. They will look like this, a common gem, water gem box, or a common gem box, and you can open them up and they perform like any other box, and that's what a gem actually looks like. So you're going to get them in-world. Why do I care about them? Because there's power rank that's going to help me get through the portals in the hub. So if you look at all these great places, all the worlds you can visit, you'll see that they've got a power rank requirement on them. And I want to get a power rank of 160 to make it into the Master Adventure world. So in other words, I need to go grind the world in this Prime world so that I have enough power rank to make it into that Prime world. So I get the gems by running dungeons or lairs in Prime or Elemental worlds. The items do auto drop, so they'll be going into your inventory even though you might not see them in world. So every once in a while when you come back to loot collect your gear, you'll notice that you've got a pile of these gem boxes. You got them by completing the dungeons. So better drops will drop in more difficult worlds. So if you're in Uber 1 or Uber 2, which is where gem drops will start happening, you're going to see common, uncommon, and rare. But when you're in Uber 3, you're going to see uncommon, rare, and epic, and so on all the way up. So how do I socket gems? All I need to do is simply pick up a gem from my inventory and drag it into an open slot here. I can't socket a red gem in a blue socket. I've only got one blue gem. So I'm going to drag that in, and it says there'll be flux to pay later on if I ever unsocket it, and so I'll agree to that. But to unsocket a gem, all I really need to do is pull it out like this. You can also right-click to put it into this area here, and right-click to get it out as well. I can drag an item into a socket and right-click on it to bring it into the leveling up area. So these slots are class specific too. So I'm on a Neon Ninja here, but if I were to change class to a Dracolite, I would not see this gem. The Dracolites have their own set of gems, but I can transfer between classes by putting it in inventory and then placing it into my new class. So how do I level these things? Well, I put it into this area down here where I can work on it. I press the level up button. So this gem actually had a double success. It went from 1 to 3, which can happen. It's rare, but it's a pretty happy moment when it does. And this gem is now at its maximum level. So I can remove it, but it is still socketed, and it's a level 3 out of 3 gem. So now it's worth more power rank, the stats got better on it, and I'm great. So that is it for me, because I've only got one socket open, and I don't have any better gems. I've given myself a higher level Shadow rarity Fire Gem, and we can put it into the level up slot just to look at something else that's interesting about the leveling up process. When I go from 1 to 2, I get a small amount of power rank. You'll notice that the amount of physical damage that a Shadow tier gem does is much more than a common tier, and the power rank is higher as well. Going to level 5 is a big deal. I had one stat there, and I got a second stat granted. Gems can have up to 3 stats. They can actually drop with up to 3 stats, and those will often be reflected as having multiple stars. Here's a common gem that actually has 3 stats, and it shows up with 2 stars to show that it's better than possibly this one, which has 2 stats. And this, to the extent you have open stat slots available, by hitting level 5, level 10, you can actually add new stats to your gem. So that's part of the fun of the system, is finding out the potential of each gem. They might start off looking similar, but they develop in unpredictable ways. So if I'm ever leveling up my gem further along, I can have a great success, as we saw. Gems can also crack, and you see I just got an extra star on that gem. That indicates to me that it's a little bit more powerful. And sometimes I don't succeed, and the chance of not succeeding will be higher the more I go up. And to the extent that I'm not happy with my progress here, I have boosters down here at the bottom. They'll do various things to increase my level up chance, increase my double level up chance, and all boosters prevent cracking. So I can simply press here on a lapis luckbuck, and this is telling me that there's no chance of cracking. It gives me more chance of leveling up and more chance of a double level up. And so when I do this, I use up lapis luckbugs in the process, but importantly, I'm also saving the flux and the dust that I would lose if that was a failed operation. So it's not a guarantee of success, but you can use a booster to give yourself a leg up on getting your gems to where you want them to. Now another question is, how do I get dust? Well, you get it primarily by deconstructing unwanted gems. So I'll just head down here to my cornerstone, where I'm going to loot collect some gems. So all I do is simply put it in and collect it. So this will give me 2 of the appropriate color of gem dust. Now, of course, a higher level item will give me a lot more gem dust. So another way I can get more gem dust, if I want some, is to go to the store and to buy a gem booster box, either in credits or qubits. And boosters will contain dust, they will contain boosters, and there may be some other places you can get dust in the game as well. So what about empowered gems? Why are they so good? Well, they're actually going to change the way you play your class. They will give you powers that happen when you kill a mob, powers that happen when you deal damage, various things. Some are class specific, the empowered class gems, and some are universal to all classes. So the way you get them is that you come across gem booster boxes and you open them up. They might contain an empowered gem box. And an empowered gem box can also be purchased, by the way, for a lunar soul from the Shadow Towers. But these empowered gem boxes are going to contain commonly radiant universal empowered gems, or uncommonly stellar universal empowered gems, or a class key, very importantly, we'll talk about that in a moment, and rarely a diamond dragon egg. So with a diamond dragon egg, you can actually get a fine mount, such as this one, and be the proud owner of a pretty incredible mount. Class empowered gems come from using a class gem key, which again comes from the empowered gem box, in the shores of the Everdark world. So that is very much of an endgame type of an aspirational item, but if you pursue gems and get the power rank to get to the highest level of world up in the tower, in the hub, you'll be at the shores of the Everdark. And that will let you access the Colosseum, and in the Colosseum are some pretty titanic battles, and after that you'll be able to use your class gem key on the kind of wonderful things that drop there. So what is my best strategy? Well, number one, play the game. The gems and the gem dust come from actually playing the game, running dungeons, just doing what you're normally doing. There is a dilemma. What should you do? Go into a lower level but faster world that you can run faster, or strive in a higher world that you might be able to succeed just by the skin of your teeth, but gives you better gems that decon into more dust? That's a dilemma. Your play style will dictate which of those is right for you at what time. You can also choose between Prime World and non-Prime World. Prime Worlds are better for a smattering of all gem types, but they drop more rarely. But they also drop all the ingredients you need for Shadow Towers. The Elemental Worlds, the fire, the water, and the air worlds, are better for gems. So if you want to focus on your yellow gem and you need more dust, or you need a better yellow gem, then head for the Cursed Skylands worlds, because that's where the yellow ones drop. You have a dilemma in terms of what is the best seed to start with. If I'm opening a number of boxes here, which is the right, essentially, when do I start leveling up my blue gem? I've got 2 gems here, power rank of 15 and power rank of 8. Well, I guess my choice is clear, but should I hold out for something of power rank 20? Do I want something with multiple stats on it to start with? Again, I'll be leveling this up to get the power rank that I'm going to want, but these might be with me for a while, so maybe it's worth me holding out for a better gem than this to start as the seed, which I will level up in and actually use for my character. Should I focus on all gems at once or one specifically? What's the biggest bang for my buck? Typically, I have a power rank goal and stats goals, so I might actually care about the stats more than the power rank in some situations, or vice versa. I have empowered gems and non-empowered gems. Which one should I focus on leveling up? Well, the empowered gems will typically cost more in terms of dust, but you're going to want to balance that between getting the power rank you need in the short term and the empowered gem that you want to keep for the long term. So your strategy is actually multifaceted when dealing with gems, and hopefully armed with this information you can enjoy the Trove gem system to its fullest extent.